In this video, I am going to give you 8 good reasons why you may want to file your Social Security benefits at the earliest age possible of 62, and I'm going to give you 8 good reasons why you may want to defer some period of time, and I will explain the break-even point. So to get started, we're going to be using an example here of Jack and Jane. So Jack has a PIA, that's the primary insurance amount, of $2,530. That is the dollar amount that he would receive at his full retirement age of 67. His wife Jane did not receive, or she did not qualify for her own benefits, and so she will be receiving the spousal benefit, which is 50% of Jack's PIA number, okay? Now, if you look at this chart, the red line represents if they were to claim their Social Security benefits at age 62, and the blue line is going to represent if they were to defer all the way till age 70, just so we can look at a comparison here. If they claim their Social Security benefits at age 62, by the time that they are 70, they will have received $278,258. So that's a significant amount of money. If they deferred all the way till 70, of course, they would have received zero up until that point. But now, as we look forward, because they deferred, when they do start their benefits at age 70, in this example, the payments are going to be much larger, right? And so now the break-even point for them is age 79. So by the time they have reached age 79, their total cumulative benefits received would be $762,100. So whether they started early at 62 or if they waited all the way till age 70, by the time they're 79, they both receive the exact same amount. One over a shorter period of time, one over a longer period of time, but that's where they broke even and they got the ultimate total same amount, right? Now, let's go out to age 85. So 6 years later, had they deferred, their total cumulative would be $1,284,000. And had they started earlier, the total cumulative at that point, at age 85, would be $1,044,000 for a difference of $240,000. So you can see that there's a significant amount of additional money if they deferred all the way till age 70. And so it's really during that 6-year period from age 79 to age 85, $250,000 additional. So now let's go out, say to age 95, assuming some longevity here. Had they waited till 70, they would have received by that time $2.5 million. And if they started at 62, it'd be $1.7 million. So a difference of $740,000. Now, doesn't mean, one is better than the other, because it completely depends on every person's situation. It's going to be unique. What is a better strategy for you? I found this very interesting. The centenarian population is projected to quadruple over the next 30 years. And so these are people that are age 100 or older. And right now in the world, we're right at about 1 million people that are already age 100 or more. And so over the next 30 years, that number is going to grow to 4 million people. And so we definitely have an aging population. And so something to take into account. But what is your longevity? Most people underestimate their longevity. If you ask anyone who's older, they'll say, yeah, I never expected to live this long. But what you don't want to do is use the national averages, because they start at birth, right? But if you've already made it into your 60s, then your average life expectancy is greater than the national average. For a 65-year-old female, age 86 is the average, and for a man, age 65, his average life expectancy is age 85. And so obviously everyone's health and longevity is going to be different. And so you want to take that into account when you make a decision. I really like this photo. This is a 4-generation photo. My dad, my son Alex, and I'm holding my grandson Crew. And, my dad had a long, productive life, wonderful man. He absolutely loved taking care of his yard and working in the yard. Here's a picture of him at age 91 out mowing his lawn. And I think he just got back from the store and, he was driving and shopping and taking care of his yard into his 90s. He did pass away just shy of his 94th birthday. He was a veteran. He served in the Navy, and he was given military honors, which it was a very special honor for him to receive, and very sweet experience for us. My mom is alive and doing well. She's 91 right now, lives independently, and so you need to take into account your longevity. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at a side-by-side comparison. In the red column are all their payments when they started their benefits at age 62. In the purple column, it is their payments when they started at age 70. So now if I zoom in, you can see that their payments when they start at age 70 would be $5,591. When they start at 62, $2,616. So a pretty significant difference. But, of course, when they start earlier, they have those payments for 8 years, which comes out to a total of $278,000 during those first 8 years. And so the break-even point here is at age 79. By the way, welcome to the Financial Fast Lane YouTube channel. My name is Lane Martinsen. And if you find this information helpful, we hope that you'll subscribe and give us a thumbs up. We really do appreciate that. Now, I'm going to give you the 8 good reasons why you may want to file early. And then I'll follow up with 8 good reasons why you may want to defer, okay? Reason number 1 is the filing enables dependent benefits, such as a spousal benefit and or children benefits, if you have minor children. And so there are additional benefits, family benefits, that can be had based off of your earnings record. And those benefits can only be received if you start your benefits first. So it's not going to make sense for a lot of people, but for some people, that will be a good reason to go ahead and start early because of the additional money you could get for a period of time, okay? And number 2, you're single, based on your health, you do not expect to live much past age 75. If that's the case, it's definitely going to make a lot of sense to just go ahead and start as early as possible. Number 3, you're married and your spouse has a shorter life expectancy than you, and you will be ultimately receiving a larger survivor's benefit. So that would then allow you to go ahead and start your own benefit, perhaps early, knowing that later on you're going to be getting the larger benefit. Number 4, you are ready and able to retire, let's say at age 62. You have a sizable retirement nest egg and a well-thought-out investment and income plan. Now, this is a scenario that surprises a lot of people. But when you have a sizable nest egg, you've got retirement assets, and you're ready to retire, and you're truly going to stop working, there we can make a very compelling case to go ahead and start Social Security benefits early, because it's going to allow your other assets more time to grow from their investments, right? So it extends your time horizon. It can reduce risk, and it can actually reduce your sequence of returns risk. So there are some good reasons to start early when you have additional assets. There are some caveats to that. There's a lot of things that come into play, but that can be a good reason, okay? Number 5, you're not working, you have no earned income, and you don't really need the Social Security income, but you're an experienced investor, you would like to go ahead, get the payments, and invest them. This can be a viable option because you're not working. But if you're still working, that's a different scenario, and we'll get to that, okay? Number 6, you have a future source of lifetime income from a pension or from a deferred income annuity. If that's the case, and your later years, you've got a solid plan and guaranteed income, that can be a reason or it can enable you to go ahead and file your benefits early. Okay. Number 7, you want to enjoy the additional income while you're younger, and you anticipate the expenses will be less as you age. Now, this may be the case, but you just want to be really careful with this one, because a lot of times your expenses, although you might think that they're going to be less, a lot of times they end up not being less because there are new expenses, whether they're healthcare related or whatever. But if you have a good handle on your income needs during a certain period of time, and then later on, the income needs will be less, and you've got a good handle on that, then that can be a good reason to go ahead and claim early. Okay, and number 8, for whatever reason, you're not able to work past age 62, and you simply need the money. Sometimes, if you've had a career where it was very physically demanding on your body, maybe construction, something like that, and by age 62, your body's really telling you you can't keep doing this, maybe that's a reason to go ahead and retire. In that case, I always like to think of possible other types of work that could be done from the convenience of your home or something entirely different that's not so hard on your body. And I have other videos that kind of explore some ideas there. So those were 8 good reasons to file your benefits early. Now I'm going to give you 8 good reasons why you may not want to do that, and you may want to defer. Now, I'm not suggesting you have to defer all the way till age 70. What's the right amount of deferral is really going to be a very personal decision. But number 1, Social Security is calculated on your highest 35 years. And so if you're like most people, your income towards the tail end of your career is typically a lot higher than the income you had at the beginning of your career. And so for every year that you have a substantial, income, you are bumping off one of the earlier years. And so that will have an impact on increasing your future benefits. So that can be a strong reason to work a few more years at least. Number 2, you have longevity in your family and you expect to live beyond age 80. Again, there is additional money for people that live beyond age 80. Number 3, you don't want to take a 30% permanent reduction in your benefits. So if your full retirement age is 67 and you go ahead and claim at 62, then that's a 30% permanent reduction in the benefits. So each year you wait, the reduction is less. Number 4 has to do with health insurance costs. Now, this has more to do with the timing of retirement, maybe not so much with the timing of Social Security. But if you have health insurance benefits through your employer, most employers pay the majority of health insurance premiums. And so a lot of times people don't realize just how expensive health insurance is. And so I see lots of times where we have people who they're ready and they want to retire at age 62, but they look at the cost of private health insurance and they realize it's an excessive expense for a few years. So if you're a married couple, the premiums are in the ballpark of around $2,000 a month. A single person around $1,000 a month. So it's kind of like having a mortgage payment for a few years. So that alone can be a reason to wait till at least till age 65. Number 5, you don't have the confidence that Social Security will be available in the future, and you want to get as much of it as you can before it all goes bankrupt. Now, I understand, I hear this a lot, and I would suggest that that you don't make any financial decisions out of fear. They're usually not good decisions. Now, I understand there are issues, right? And there is a shortfall. They say that if there are no reforms, no changes with Social Security, as of right now, by 2034, there would be enough revenue to pay out about 75% of the benefits. And so everyone across the board would get a 20 to 25% reduction in their benefits. That's the worst case scenario. And so Social Security is going to be there. If if nothing's changed, it's still going to be there, right? I think when push comes to shove, if people are going to be taking a reduction in Social Security benefits or taxes are going to be higher, I think taxes are going to be higher. And so any concern you have around Social Security not being there for you, I would say shift that fear to taxes are likely to be higher, because I think that's really what's likely to happen, okay? Number 6, you're still working and your income exceeds the earnings limit. And so this is something that, I hear a lot and get a lot of questions. Well, I'm still working. Why don't I just go ahead and claim early? I can invest the money. But you have to be aware that there is an earnings limit, right? And so if you look at this chart here, you can go ahead and claim early and earn up to $22,320 as of 2024. And the earnings limit is indexed for inflation. So that does change each year. But for every dollar over that amount, you're going to lose $1 benefits, or they're going to be withheld for every $2 above the limit. So essentially 50% of everything above that earnings limit is going to be withheld. And so ultimately, the money that's withheld is going to be paid out back to you over time once you surpass full retirement age. But it creates unpredictability. So you take the reduction in the benefit for claiming early, and then you have to report Social Security. They're going to turn off your benefits. If you don't report, then it can, it may be turned off very sporadically when you're unaware. And so we see that it makes most sense, if you're working, to not claim, to go ahead and defer, and at least until you actually retire, or until you reach your full retirement age. So in the year that you reach your full retirement age, you haven't reached it yet, but in that year, you could start your benefits, you could earn up to $59,520. So the earnings limit is higher in that year. And then if you exceed that limit, the penalty is not quite as stiff. And then when you get to the month that you turn and reach your full retirement age, there is no earnings limit at that point. So you could continue to work, you can earn as much as you want, there are no penalties. Now, that's different than taxes, right? So don't confuse earnings limit penalties and taxes on Social Security. They're two entirely separate things. You will have taxes to take into account, and that can be a reason to continue to defer if you're still working as well. Number 7, Social Security will be your main and only source of income in retirement. If that's the case, that is a very compelling reason to defer as long as possible, because you really want your benefits to be larger if that's all you're going to have. And so working as long as you can, at least a few more years, it will make a significant difference to how much you will have the rest of your life. So that's a very compelling reason to defer. Number 8 is for tax planning reasons. And so again, you don't want to think of Social Security all by itself and then all of your other financial issues and decisions separate. It's really in the coordination and the holistic planning, because when you're thinking about taxes and you've got a tax plan, that will impact the best timing for Social Security. And so these are 8 good reasons to not file your benefits early. Okay, we want to make this easy for you. Through my firm, we have a professional Social Security analysis and strategy report that is customized with your numbers, your break-even, your best strategies that you could consider. It's a professional report, comprehensive, 20 pages, but it comes with an easy-to-read summary. It's a low cost. I think you're going to find it very well worth it, and it literally could save you thousands of dollars. So just go to socialsecuritylane.com for more information on that. Now, if you're not aware, I am the founder and CEO of Martinsen Wealth Management, and I've been blessed with a wonderful team of financial planning professionals and support staff. And we love to be of service, and we also love to educate. And so I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Financial Fast Lane.